I was going to go to the gun range today and shoot some of my hybrids out of my 284, but somebody had me parked in, so I can't get out. And rather than getting aggravated, I figured I'd just do a video on this front rest. I've had this now since last year, and wanted to give it a good run through to see what I thought about it before I mentioned to y'all anything about it. And I'm actually kind of liking this thing. This is the 21st Century Hybrid X front rest. They say it's a hybrid because it's a joystick, and it's not. The joystick controls the left and right movement on there, and I've got a knob on here to adjust the up and down on it. Of course, you got the major wheel on here. It's got some nice long screws for adjusting how you need to get this thing leveled up. Nice little level on here. It's got what they call a target angling system. You can simply, once you've got your rifle set up on here, you can undo these little levers, and you can turn this whole head without moving the base. So you can line your stuff up on the bench, like I said, without disturbing your levelness already. I've got a front stop on here. You can see I've got it pretty far back on this thing, but that's just the way I've got my gun set up. It comes with a nice bag. I've got a piece of tie down on here, and I've got the center of this thing cinched down pretty good, so the bag doesn't have a tendency to build up in the middle of it and high center my gun. My rifle has a hollow spot, not stock anyway, but I just wanted to make sure it didn't get there, because it does have a tendency to move around. Like I said, I've been shooting with this thing for a while, and some of the things I like about it is once I've got it set, the gun goes back into position, point of aim, easily. I just basically have to push it right back up to the stop again. And if I do have to make any kind of movement, it's minor. This is what they call the long handle. I'll talk more about that here in a little bit. And this is your up and down. You can see it's, well, you probably can't, but it's moving this plate here, and it has a toothed belt drive that runs into here that actually turns all that. So there's no play in it. I mean, it's rock steady there. This is the fine setting. They have one that's a coarse setting, but I actually find this fine setting plenty of movement on here. The long handle, depending on the stock you're running, this is a pretty long stock, and you can see where this thing actually lines up on me. And when I'm shooting on this thing, I've got plenty of room on there. But if you're running something shorter, you're probably going to have issues with a magazine, because the magazine on most guns is right here, and if it's sticking down pretty far, depending on the elevation you have out there, this is going to bump into the magazine. So some of those magazine guns, you got to keep that in mind, and most of those have a shorter stock on them anyway. The handle on this thing, I don't know if you noticed before, but it's actually reversed. If you're going that way, it's coming this way, and just the opposite. when I'm down on the gun, I don't even notice that it's backwards from like a regular joystick. You know, most of those joysticks, you go that way, the gun goes that way. It's kind of the way they're designed. But this doesn't bother me. I don't even notice it. So I don't have a problem with that, because I'm just kind of looking at it and maybe moving it around a little bit anyway. The feature of this hybrid system is, you know, once I've got it set, it won't go down. There's no way this will go down. Some of those joysticks have, you know, special devices on there and springs and tensions and stuff to keep them from dropping. This one won't drop. So if you got your elevation set right and your bags are steady and nothing's moving around in your bags, you don't have to bother with it. Maybe just a little bit. But that's all on how fierce you're moving your bags around. That 284 likes to kick pretty good, and every now and then when I lift the bolt on it, the back of that gun's kind of light. I pick it up out of that rear bag. Then I got to move it a little bit. You kind of saw the little video there at the beginning of this. That's in real time. That's 5 shots, pretty much as fast as I can put them on paper, and that group was a half an inch at 100 yards. So that's how rock steady this system is. This thing weighs 28 pounds, so it's heavy. It's not going to move. The little points on the bottom of this thing are pretty damn sharp. Once they dig into the wood, they're dug in. I even got the little sand feet for these things. I'll have to get those. They'll actually screw onto the bottom of these pins. So if you want to set these in some kind of loose ground or something, you've got a good base to set this on. If you're doing any kind of belly shooting, you know, F-class style or anything with it. It came with a carrying case, Pelican style carrying case. You can see is pretty huge, the vault. That's got padding inside there that this thing actually sits down inside, and once you have that thing in there and the case closed, that's not moving anywhere. So that's basically the front rest. The wait time on this thing, I believe, is only like 8 or 10 weeks, so you don't have to wait a year to get the thing like some of those other rests. But if I had to do it all over again, I'd do it the same way. I actually like this rest. I like it a lot. If you've got any questions or anything about this, feel free to drop a comment down or ask me a question. I pretty much let you know what I think or what your question might need to be answered. So, but I just wanted to show you this. I like it. 21st Century Hybrid X.